Hey, everybody. Hey, Gamerhole. You might notice a different layout today. You might notice the only person who you're here for isn't here today. He's in a better place.
He's in a better place. He's closer
He's on
to
vacation.
God.
He's in a better place. He is closer to God. He's in God's holy city. A holy place today, and he's never coming back. So you should subscribe to me and Decky on Twitch. He doesn't need your subs anymore.
Not coming back.
Aqua's on vacation. Who knows when he comes back?
He'll be back when this goes live. He'll probably be back a few hours after this goes live.
Don't stop watching. He'll be here on the next one. He'll be here on the next one. Please.
I just thought about it. Aqua's actually close to Malta.
Yes. Yeah, he's pretty close to Malta.
This is the closest to Malta Aqua's
This is
ever
the
been.
closest any of us have probably ever been to Malta. That's really exciting.
After the viewership in Malta that we had, and then us talking about Malta, I have decided that is where I'm going to take a nice vacation someday if I can ever take the time off and have enough money. I'm going to go to Malta. That's
if I
where
ever
I've
get a
decided.
vacation, I'll go to Malta.
Yep.
Said probably at least one person just now.
I just pulled it up, and holy shit, yeah, that is super close.
Yeah.
Like it is.
It's like right
it's
off the
there.
It's like right off the coast.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can almost see Malta from Italy. That's a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, wowee.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Aqua's in Italy. He'll be back next week.
He said that
We're
he
just-
loved Olive Garden and wanted to go to the place where it all started. And he's went to 3 different Olive Gardens in Italy so far.
He went to Italy to get an authentic pizza, and he finally found the perfect Saboro's restaurant to get us an authentic slice of Italian pizza. Oh fuck! I had what was I gonna say? What was it?
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We got a whole lot of
injuries.
stuff,
We've
yes.
got new baby ducks. That's driving Zeechum
They're
insane.
not new. They're not new anymore.
Oh, God. They're too big now. They're not as cute. They're just annoying.
The varnish has worn off, and they're no longer. They're molting. They're growing feathers. They're
Oh, God.
shitting constantly.
They do shit a lot. Yeah.
I watched one of them lay down, and another one lay down behind him, and he just shit all over the one behind him. I was like, he had shit all over his back, and I was like, if I don't clean that now, it's never gonna get cleaned off. This fucking baby duck.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Decky's head injury first, because that's more my speed right now.
It's more of a fun topic, Really
Yeah,
lighthearted.
So last week, we recorded the Gamer Hole early because Aqua was leaving.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I just realized when we recorded the members only one directly before this, I have zero memory of either of those recordings. Like we talked about stuff from that, and it's not ringing bells. I took a hit to the head last weekend.
Mhm.
Actually Sunday. It's been a week. Yeah. So we
You
were
know,
at Tanya's.
in like movies and shit, when people get hit in the head, and then they're like, "What day is it?"
That's been me all week. Yeah, I am
Yeah.
living. I am lost. And I was saying it like, even more. There's been a lot of other stuff going on the last few days to kind of throw me out of my rhythm even more. But like, it feels like I haven't been awake for like days. I've just been like in this daze and like half asleep, half awake. And I think that's less from the head thing because I was awake during the later parts of the week. During the actual like regular week. But yeah, we'll get to that too. So there's a new dog in the house. That's the other part of the story.
Yeah, let's take it back to the head injury and kind of go through what happened.
That's just the other a lot of stuff to go over. So after we did that, we went to Tanya's parents' house to do like Mexican Thanksgiving. Mexican Mother's Day is a different day than it is in the US. So we were going there to celebrate that, even though it happened earlier that week.
because Mexican mothers are a different breed of woman.
Yeah. Well, they are. So there was that, and I had already done an extraordinarily large amount of drinking on Saturday night. And then Sunday I woke up hungover, barely surviving, and they were like pulling down some of the festivities, and they had like this tarp like rung up on the side of the house with this like metal pole, and they, had been like in the ground or like in this bucket, and somebody had snipped the tarp that was tied to the pole, thus releasing all the pressure on the pole. And I was sitting like right here, and I was like hanging out, thinking about how bad my head hurts from the hangover. And this pole is like 15 feet tall, just big metal poles, just like, and just like hammers me into the ground like a cartoon. Like, didn't like come down, bounce off my head, hit my shoulder. It was a direct hit on the top back of my head, like the exact like you're
the perfect spot where it wouldn't just like blow off and like
exactly no,
cave
it just
off
like
to a.
And at the time, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was in a bad spot, and
was everybody like screaming and freaking out?
I think there was quite a bit. People were very alarmed.
Well, yeah,
and,
15-foot metal beam just fell on your head. So
yeah.
It was very strange, and I mean, I was also really alarmed at it. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Am I gonna die? Is my head cracked open? There was not a lot of blood. There's very little bit. But
just
it
felt
hurt.
like
It hurt.
extreme
Yeah.
pain all of a sudden.
Yeah, and
Did
I
you
mean,
know
like,
you had gotten hit with a beam? Like,
no, I don't. Not originally. No,
you just like felt pain.
And so like it took a bit of time, and like most of it was me just sitting there trying to figure out what the fuck was going on and regain myself, and then I eventually did. And they're like, well, we're gonna go to a hospital. I was like, fuck, we're out in like Mexico State. We're like wasn't in the city, and I was like, nah, just like we were about to leave to go home, and I was like, just get me the fuck home. And so like, and it's like hour and a half away or something. So we go home, and we're like riding home with like Tanya's sister and her husband, and they're like, let's go to the hospital. And I was all like, I don't go to the hospital. I don't do fucking doctors.
Do you know who I am? I don't go to hospitals.
Yeah. So like, and I was just all like, and I'm like, and part of me is like angry, and like that was the thing. I'm like out of it. I'm disoriented. I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm also just like pissed. Pissed was one of my biggest reactions from this.
I was gonna say, did you know who cut the thing and who to blame for this, and were you upset
who's
with
paying
them
the hospital bill for this one?
And like it wasn't. I don't know who cut it, but it
I would have been finding out.
But like I mean, it wasn't intentional. As nobody is like, it's just an accident that it literally happened to fall right on my head. And so, but I was like angry, and I still thought it was weird, and I even remember like they kept asking stuff, and I was like, guys, just don't talk to me, I'm pissed. And they're like, oh, okay. But it was, you guys have seen when I get angry.
Yeah, no, I know. You kind of you just let Decky go. Give him a little bit of time. Yeah,
freak mode when you get angry, Decky.
But they ended up like taking me to the hospital, even despite me being like no. And they went in, and the hospital was all like, well, I mean, health insurance is not, medical system is definitely different here, but they're like, well, if you don't have any proper insurance, it's going to be at least like $250 to like bring you in. And I was all like, no.
What a dream.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I meant. It's definitely different, but I was still like, fuck no, I'll go to the $2 doctor in the morning. So, because you can go to you pay like 40 pesos and you can have a guy at a pharmacy check you out. And I was like, I'll do that shit. If I'm not dead now, I'm just going to go to sleep, and I'm sure I'll wake up. So
Decky's going to have the guy at the CVS give him a look over in the morning for $2.
So I literally at the hospital, I was like, no. So I went home. I took some, pain meds, some stuff to hopefully, make it not swell up. And I went to bed. And I did wake up the next morning. Everybody was kind of like, are we supposed to let him sleep?
Yeah.
And I did wake up, and I went to the $2 doctor. And he looked it over, and he was all like, you're going to have a concussion. Take this anti-swelling stuff. Your skull's not cracked. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
How did he know your skull's not cracked?
Part parted my hair and looked at it.
Skull looks fine under that skin, not cracked.
He just like he knocked on it and he listened to what came back. He's like, it's fine.
You're fine.
So, and I was feeling pretty bad. And then, but I had been taking some, just like aspirin and whatever meds I could get. So I was like, well, he says it's good. It's good. So I went home, started the stream. And I was like, I can't even read this fucking chat. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I am concussed. I was like, man, this is difficult. And like during the stream, I was like, after this, I'm going to the hospital. Never mind. So I reverted back on everything I had said. And so like I ended my stream after that. And I was like, Tanya, going to the hospital. And so like we go to this other hospital nearby. And I mean, I don't think I've been to a hospital in my adult life. Since I was like a child, have I been to a hospital for like my own needs? Yeah. And so like I went to this hospital, and I hadn't been to a Mexican hospital either, which is a little bit different vibe than U.S. hospitals. At least this one was.
Was there a long wait?
The wait, no, it was like 30 minutes. It wasn't bad compared to yeah.
In Mexico City?
I'm fucking going to Mexico.
This sounds like a $250 with no insurance and a 30-minute wait. This is a dream, Decky. You go to the hospital if you're a 6-hour wait and you pay $20,000.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we go in and I go in, but this place is very shady looking. And I was like, oh my God. And like, I'm going in and I see people all laid up, like looking like they're on death's door. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I getting put in with these people? And I'm like, dear God, this is terrifying. But they take me in there. They check all my, vital stuff. And they're like, all right, when the doctor comes in after 10 minutes, he's all like, all right, tell me what's going on. I was all like,
did he speak English? Did he say that?
He didn't. No, he didn't. One of the other nurses did or something. But so yeah, I had Tanya translating that because I definitely wasn't trying to do it in my head, which is going to be shit
so
anyway.
Difficult to to have that like mediator when you're trying to explain like what hurts to a doctor.
Well, I mean, she told him what happened, and I think he understood what hurt.
Yeah.
Is it
here? Like, is it here? So a beam fell on your head. How does your hands feel?
So yeah, he kind of looked it over and he was all like, well, yeah, let's do a image. I don't know what kind of image it was, more advanced in the x-ray. They put me in like the thing. And so like, they like put me in this tiny little wheelchair and they like rolled me down in. Yeah. And like, I was like, holy shit, no. I was like, this is going to be the thing with the magnet. I was like, and I jumped up when they put me on the thing. I was like, I can't do it. And Tanya like wasn't in the room. I was like, I can't do it. I got metal in my hand. And I was like, it's going to rip it out of me. And then they're like, what the fuck's going on? So like Tanya had to come in and like talk. She's like, he's got an implant in his hand. They're like, no, it's no magnets. This is just the image of his head. I was like, okay.
He's got a CT scan. Yeah.
But I was like freaking out about this for a second. I was like, it's going to pop out of my head.
MRI or whatever.
Yeah.
I think with an MRI, what happens is it vibrates the metal so much that it heats up and it starts like burning you.
Yeah.
Rips
so they
it out
do
of your
it.
fucking...
So they do it, and I actually had this really cool like bed in the whole like urgent care unit or whatever it is, and it was like the bed at the end of the hall, and so they had all their storage in there. And so I'm like, my bed, and then there's a foot, and then there's the storage. So I just have all these nurses coming in, grabbing gauze, coming in, grabbing the thing that they pump people's mouths with, coming in, grabbing all this shit. And I was all like, just watching, and it was a very unorganized system. I was like, there's no inventory on all this stuff. And I was even telling Tony, I was like, I'm going to steal that bag of saline. And I was like, dude, this is sick. Like I could take anything I want out of here. I ended up not taking anything. I was going to. I just forgot.
Real life DZ. We could take the saline.
I was like, dude, this is just a free-for-all in here.
Okay, wait, before you move on, I did the same thing when I was in the hospital, and they gave me these pair of sweatpants. Like bright blue hospital sweatpants that were so comfy that I looked at Katie and I was like, I'm taking these. And they came in and they were like, okay, just get changed and you guys can go. Just throw your throw the sweatpants in this bin. And I was like, okay. And I took them off and we put them in Katie's purse. I still got them. I wear them all the time.
Do they charge you or do they just not?
No, they didn't know.
They'll
The bin
never
was full of
find out.
sweatpants from previous patients. I was like,
You should have took more of them. Why
I
not
can't
like
believe
4 or
you didn't take a
5?
saline bag, Decky. That would have been.
I
Who has
literally
a saline
meant
bag?
to.
Who has a saline bag?
I think Decky's brain wasn't quite
Yeah,
all
yeah.
there
No,
that day.
I had like talked about it. I was like, dude, we got to. Like, this fucking doesn't matter. It's
How do you
fine.
put the saline bag in your purse? Come on. I won't have to drink water for weeks. I can just leave it connected.
So then the doctor comes in. He's got all the x-rays. I got official x-rays. I can show if we want, we could put a picture up of my gray matter. I put it on Twitter.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah, do it.
They looked
Here's
at
a
it.
picture of Decky's brain, guys.
there's a lot of just goosh in there. Not many wrinkles according to the picture, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the doctor was like, "You have a very hard head. It's not
Not very smooth
your
brain.
skull is okay. It's gonna hurt for a couple of weeks, but your skull is okay, and you do have bruising on your brain." And I was like, he used the word contusion,
Contusion, yeah.
which definitely did not make me feel any better. Like I understand it's just a bruise, but like it bigger words than I'm used to using, and it scared me. And I was like, oh my
That's
god,
not a Daisy debuff I'm familiar with.
He's like, yeah, the
Contusion?
contusion is on the front of my head because I got hit in the top back, and so my head bounced forward and my brain smashed against the front of it.
Yeah.
And so I had some minor bruising up there, but he was like, ideally it should be okay. Take these anti-inflammatories, this and that. And he's like, in 4 days, if you're because like my ears had been ringing, everything had been messed up. He was like, and you should be all right. And so I've done that, and it's been over that time, and I do feel overall better, but I also do notice when my meds run out still, and it's been like 4 or 5, and it's been a week now.
Yeah.
But I think it's fine. I'm still like have a couple of more days of meds, and then I'll wear off it, and I assume I should be okay. I don't plan on going back. It's expensive.
Expensive. This fucking
Expensive.
guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so I'm still not 100%, and haven't been doing any drinking. I've been taking it real easy, not a lot of movements.
That's a good
Just
call.
been relaxing. And it's been a weird experience because like normally I'm pretty rough on myself as far as like, it's no big deal. Like broke my finger on an airplane, didn't give a fuck, never went to a doctor about it. Plenty
That
of
was
other
fucked up.
injuries.
That was a fucked up story. Yeah.
Plenty of other injuries. I'm kind of just like shrug it off, and I'm like, it's part of getting old, no big deal. And this one, I was actually like, it really set me back because I was like, for one, that could have been a lot worse. And number two, and that's why I decided to go to the hospital. I was like something happens to your brain, that can really change stuff. Like that is not just like, oh, my arm's going to ache when I put it in this position, or, I'm going to have an extra crick or something here. And it was really alarming, especially from such a weird freak accident.
Yeah.
It's not something to really plan for or think about. Like, I mean, I'm going to plan
that's
for
how freak accidents happen. Though.
Exactly,
You don't
yeah.
plan for them or think about them. They just happen.
I
Yeah.
plan a lot of my freak accidents, actually.
Well, I mean, personally, like, I'm aware that maybe I will get hit by a car in a crosswalk and I might break an arm or something. Like, that shit crosses my mind.
I don't know if I can schedule in getting hit with a 15-foot steel pole this weekend.
But normally I'm not thinking about head trauma. And that was it was a very weird thing to think about. And it's not like I've changed my life or anything and like, oh my God, I have a new lease on life. But it definitely made me like, it's very scary. Just like the actual brain function of it. Bodily injuries, not so much, but like the brain side of things actually did disturb me. And overall, despite not, now that I realize I can't remember what we did talk about last week on the Gamer Hole, overall, everybody is saying I seem pretty normal. And I feel mostly normal as far as my memory and my brain functionality and stuff, which has never been extraordinarily high. But I'm still running at the same clock speed I previously was, I think.
As far as you know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
You wait till you
from
try to
what I
remember.
remember.
Wait till you try to remember the word for refrigerator and you're just sitting there looking at it like, what is this?
But I mean, that's also what's scary is like, I'm like, maybe I feel fine, but what do I find's missing later on? I know it's, The brain
Later on,
thing
you
is...
go to write something. Turns out you're left-handed now, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
It's a scary thing. So, yeah, just be careful with your heads, gamers.
One thing that my wife did bring up is, are you going to be allowed to fly? Like, is that going to affect anything?
Nah, he's fine.
I mean, what they're gonna put a note saying I can't.
It's
fly?
for like internal head pressure.
But like if your head pressure,
You're fine.
yeah. But you'd probably be fine now.
He never said anything about it. All good.
That's only for like severe
Yeah.
like skull fractures. You can't fly because like the change in pressure in the cabin can like.
But that's what I told her. I was like, he'll be a week or two out before that
He's
even comes
fine.
a thing, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll know
It's
he's
like
fine
that
by then.
episode of House or whatever the fuck with the scuba diver who like went scuba diving and then got on a plane and was like just
When
like
you get the
screaming.
bends. That's slightly different, but
I
yeah.
was like, is there a doctor on board? And they're like, pressure, and they get everyone in the cabin to push on the guy or something. That's gonna be Decky. Every single person in the plane is gonna be squeezing his head to keep it in.
Well, I
the
already hate
flight.
flying, but thanks. Now I'm gonna be worried about this too. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
No problem.
My head's gonna
You'll
explode
be
while I'm on
fine.
the plane.
The plane's pressurized. You're fine.
You're fine.
But yeah, that was the first part of my week. Let's talk about some other things, then I'll get to the second part of my week.
Oh.
My God,
So,
the
yeah,
week
let's-
continued.
Yeah, it
it
has been
continues.
busy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, but let's talk about your ducks. Let's talk about some other things. I don't want to.
Let's go with ducks first.
Katie went on her bachelorette party for the
Yeah.
ducks.
Oh,
The ducks are Katie's classroom ducks, right? Like you're teaching. We talked about it last week. You teach the kids about animal life cycle. You teach them about like eggs and embryos and like you guys remember in school learning about like the developmental stages of a fetus of like a chicken fetus. Yeah. Just like that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you just go over it for like a
Yeah.
day. It's like a chapter in like the science book, right? But a lot of schools they do like a local farm will donate some like fertilized eggs, and then you raise the eggs in the classroom with
Yeah.
the kids, and then the
Yeah.
kids name the chickens when they hatch. You hold on to them for a week or two, and then you give them back to the farm. They did ducks this year, and Katie over the weekend somebody's gonna watch the ducks, and Katie was going on our bachelorette party this weekend, and they she was like, will you watch the ducks? And I was like, okay, I love the ducks. So yeah, I'll watch them, of course.
loved them.
Loved.
Maybe
Here's
not
the thing.
anymore.
They are growing like fucking ducks. They're growing like ducks.
They're growing like ducks.
They're growing so fast. We had like a steel bucket to keep them in, and when they hatched and they were little tiny ducklings, it was fine. They had tons of room in there.
Yep.
They have grown so fucking fast that we can't keep them in that anymore because they are just shitting on each other. I don't think ducks know how to control their bladders. I think they just I think food goes in, it runs straight through a tube and then it comes out.
Yeah, ducks have a cloacia, right? Or what is it called?
It is
Cloacia?
insane how much shit.
Their piss, poop, and eggs all come from the same hole.
Did Decky freeze? What's going on with Decky's camera?
If they're like chickens.
I
Don't worry
you guys
about that.
cut out for a minute. I might have some internet
Weird.
issues.
Don't worry.
You're
He'll
fine.
come back.
You're fine. You're totally fine. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch the ducks. I love the ducks. And she leaves and I realized like they need way more care right now than they needed a week and a half ago. The last time I had these ducks. They have grown so much. They can't fit in that fucking thing anymore. And on top of that, they've gotten so big, there's no way she's taking them back to school for the remainder of the farm they're going to. They can't go till the end of the week. So we've got 1 week with these ducks and they can't go back to school. They've gotten too big. They're jumping out of the container we were keeping them in. I built a pen outside, but I'm worried our neighbor's cat is going to fucking eat them. So I have to stay out there and like watch them. I wake up in the morning. The sun comes up. It's a bright 10 a.m. And I'm like, another day of duck farming. And I like go out into the garage. I'm like, good morning, ducks. And they all look at me and go, little duck sounds. And then I scoop them all up and we go outside and I release them into their. I built them I used chicken wire and some posts. I built them like a huge chicken wire fenced in area. They'll and then hug together, and I give them their water. I fucking there's shit everywhere, just all over them. I've never been comfortable with shit, right? Like I see someone throw up and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. That's disgusting. I like animal. If a dog like shits on the floor, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. I can't. My cat's litter box. If I have to clean that, I just lose it. I can't do it. I'm so bad at it.
You'll get used to it if you actually own the ducks for a while. There's a lot of shit.
I finally got used to it.
Either that or you'll be sick a lot. One or the other.
I finally gotten used to it, but it wasn't easy, man. It wasn't easy. Yeah. It took like a few days of being forced to like clean piss and shit soaked wood chips. So their cage in the garage, we gotta keep them till the end of the week. I was like, can't you take them earlier? And she was like, I just don't have the shed for the ducks set up yet. So we had to expand their cage in the garage. And now they own almost a quarter of the garage is now fenced in with like with caging and just covered in wood chips. And it's like a barn out there. It's insane. I don't know how I evolved to this like level of duck care, but
yeah, it sucks. When my family had sheep, it was very bad.
It's a serious fucking job, dude, taking care of any animal. I've only got 5 ducks and I'm ready to just like.
So the thing with animals is if it's planned and everything's good and it goes by the books, you're probably really easy, wake up in the morning.
If I had like a little coop out there for them and it was all set up,
Too bad animals aren't like that. Like the fucking first off, the sheep that we had, like you'd be like, oh, it's not a big deal. The mother will take care of them. They're in their barn, whatever, blah blah blah, right? But then when they have them early and it's still winter and they're gonna freeze to death, and the mom's like, "Fuck you! I'm not taking care of this little. I'm not
feeding these."
So then you have to take. They pretty much take over the barn, and then you're like, I have to bottle feed these at 4 a.m. and then 10 a.m. and then 2 p.m. and then it's just fucking.
Make sure
the
the heated lamp's on. Make sure the ducks don't get too hot. Turn the heated lamp off during the daytime because the ducks will get overheated. Make sure the ducks have water. Make sure the ducks' water isn't totally full of shit. I didn't get to game for 2 days. I did no gaming. I sat outside with the ducks. I watered the ducks. I fed the ducks. I came inside. I got 10 minutes before I had to go make sure they didn't get fucking eaten by a fox or something.
So anyways,
that being said,
I'm quitting and he's becoming a duck farmer.
That being said, I love them, and if I could build like a little coop for them, I would keep them.
I thought you were keeping them. You're not keeping them?
No, they're going to a farm at the end of the week.
Oh, I thought you were keeping 2 of them or something.
No, we can't keep these fucking ducks. We live in the city, dude. We can't keep ducks.
You can keep ducks.
No, we can't keep ducks.
I love how Z-Chum's opinion has totally changed about keeping the ducks.
Yeah, no, you can definitely keep ducks. You just need a tiny little coop and a little area for them to run out.
It's like as soon as my fiance leaves and I have to do like real work, I'm all of a sudden exhausted and no longer think the ducks are that cool. And all of a sudden can't. It's not okay. I actually really love them. I just want them to have like an appropriate. They need to run. Okay, ducks need wide open duck space.
Duck space.
They need duck space. They need space dedicated to ducking and quacking and swimming and eating and shitting on each other. So
can we see a duck?
No, I am not. They've grown so much.
That's why I wanted to see it. We need to see the week difference, Z-Chum.
Dude, they are so big now.
There will be a picture on screen now.
Oh my God.
Go. Z-Chum will have to take a picture and put it on screen for, type in the duck time.
Okay, they're just big now. Okay, they went from being little, like, just sit in the palm of your hand literally like a week and a half ago to being like fucking cradle the thing. You can't carry them anymore. You pick them up, they go, rah, 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 and they throw their little fucking wings everywhere and they scrape at you with their little webbed feet.
We're gamers.
I'm going crazy.
This is why I'm choosing never to have children, because I don't want to take care of a duck. I don't want to take care of a kid.
That's what I was going to say. I was talking to my buddy who had a kid a few years ago, and I was like, dude, I can barely keep a couple ducks alive. I don't think I can keep a human alive.
Exactly. Like I good to the parents out there. Good on you, but
Yeah.
not for me. Yeah.
He was like, dude, you just do it. Like I know you say you can't do it, but like you don't have a choice. You just become a parent and you do it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't really have a choice with the ducks either, but I'm having a hard time.
But you are doing it. Like, yeah, that's
I am doing
but
it. That's I guess he
It's
was
just
right.
not fun. But you will do it. Like if you had
I don't think
kids,
anybody
I'm
ever
sure
said
you
having a kid was fun, though. To be fair, I don't think anybody
it's
ever woke up
rewarding for
at.
different reasons, I think. But yeah,
I don't think anybody ever
for some
woke
people
up
Maybe
at,
it's not fun though.
not
at 3
fun. It's
a.m.
rewarding.
covered in like baby shit and was like, "This is fun. I like this."
Who knows?
Sleep deprived for like 2 months straight, 2 hours of sleep a night. This is great.
Years.
Anyways,
Well,
that's the ducks. That's
the
the duck
ducks
update. They're fine. I'm just they need to go to the farm now.
Get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, speaking of animals, yeah, so the second part of my week, I'm recovering from my head blow. Thursday morning, I wake up. Tanya takes the dogs outside. She comes in and she's all like, I got bad news. And I was like, oh, God, what could it be now? And she's all like, you know, Mateo, the homeless guy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, my boy Mateo. Yeah, he lives over on the corner. Yeah, Mateo's great. Mateo's a nice homeless guy and lives on the corner. Keeps to himself. Nothing bad.
He's got a new
And,
spaceship now. What's with that?
Yeah, he's got a really upgraded house. She's all like, Mateo saw a dog got hit by a car. He pulled it out of the street, and now it's lying over next to his area, and he doesn't know what to do with it. And I was like, oh, God damn it. And she's all like, yeah, I know. We already know where this is going. And I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, let's go find this dog and let's take it to the vet. So, like, I hobble out of bed and we go over there, and there's this poor dog just laid up in the fucking, like, dirt next to Mateo's, like, setup. And I was like, all right. But luckily, there's literally a fucking vet, like, 50 meters away. So I was all like, me and Mateo, like, each pick it up. It's like a medium-sized street dog. And we pick it up, we take it to the vet. And this, like, I already knew. I was like, all right, this is going to turn into a way bigger ordeal. We're going to have this dog for God knows how long. If it lives, all this other stuff, this is going to be some giant thing. And I was all like, but I'm in. Okay.
Sure.
So
Okay.
like I like that's not even what I told her when we were walking over there before I saw it. I was like, you know, this is going to turn into the biggest ordeal in the world. Man, she's
Jesus,
like,
most people would be just so like they would just euthanize the dog. Most people, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, poor thing got hit by a car. We'll take it to the vet to get it euthanized." Right? That's what the majority of people would do, and they'd call that their good deed. Like, "Oh, it's not suffering anymore. We helped it." But Decky is a caliber of person that most are not.
I've got a real soft spot for rescue or street dogs to begin with for a lot of stuff. But so yeah, but like we are both like, this is gonna turn into some massive ordeal, and it has turned into a bigger ordeal than we ever imagined. I'm still glad I'm going through with it so far, but oh my God. So yeah, we take it to this vet, and this it's like a very like rinky-dinky vet. They don't even have an X-ray machine. And so like she checks it over, and she's all like, oh my God, yeah, it's got some major bruising down here. It's probably been homeless before this. And then so we were like, okay, well, what's the rundown? She's like, well, the dog should be okay. But let me check it over. And then you guys can have it. It can stay with you, and hopefully it'll recover in the next few days. We were like, well, that sounds easy enough. Okay. So we go back home. We prep the bathroom. We're going to keep it in our bathroom and all this other stuff. And then we go back, and she's all like, its hip's broken. And I was like, all right, it's begun.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other things. She's all like, the breathing doesn't sound great. And she is like, well, it's okay. We don't have the X-ray machine here. So take it home. Let it rest overnight, and then take it to a different vet tomorrow, get it x-rayed, we'll figure it out. So we're like, okay. We do that. Dog comes home with us. It stays with us overnight. We wake up. It definitely is having some more issues breathing the next day. Hasn't moved an inch. And so I'm like, well, shit. And I feel like terrible for this thing. It's just sitting there in pain. Well, it didn't honestly seem that much in pain, but it's not moved at all, and it didn't eat, didn't drink, and it wouldn't shit or go to pee or anything. So I was like, oh, fuck. So we take it to this proper vet, and I was like, man, these, like, the first vet was like $50. I was like, whatever. And then like these, and then we take it to the proper vet, and I'm like, oh,
You
God,
you see the nicer vet place, and you're like, ah, fuck, the bill's gonna be higher.
Exactly.
These guys have an X-ray machine. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh my God.
So yeah,
Did
we
you
bust
stop
up
by the
in there.
CVS pharmacy guy on the way?
That was the first vet. The first vet was the $2 CVS one. Yeah. So I was all like, oh man, this is already going to cost more than my entire head injury did. Mm-hmm. So we go there and we bring it in, and they look at it and they're like alarmed at its state. And so like they bring it back, they do all this stuff, they mess with it for a bit, they bring us back in there and they talk to us, and they're like, this dog's in really bad shape. It's like its hips broken in like 4 different areas, and it's got nerve damage, probably from the spinal cord. It can't breathe very well from it, and pretty much everything on the back half doesn't work, and it can't shit, and it's got like 3 days of shit inside of it. And they're like, we've already tried to like relieve that, it's not coming out. And I was all like, well, fuck. And eventually, you know, that poisons it. Not to mention like the entire back half of the dog's broken. But they're like, on the plus side, it shouldn't feel much because it's nerve damage and its nerves
possibly
are fucked.
paralyzed.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God. And I was like, this just got a million times worse. And so they were like, we're going to keep it overnight. We're going to do some more tests on it. And we don't have the equipment. They're like, you need to go to the special dog nerve doctor on the other side of the city where they got the big nerve machine and they can check out its spinal cord. And I was all like, oh, the third vet.
Oh my God.
Okay.
The one with even better stuff.
That's why most people.
Yeah.
Again, you are an angel in terms of dog lovers. Most people would just be like, okay, so we'll euthanize the dog then.
Yeah. And they're like, you guys are going to keep it? And I'm like, I'm not in the emotional spot to take another dog in. But I'm not giving up on this thing. So, and I was like, okay, so, all right, let's do that. And so like, they're like, we don't even know if it'll go through this night, but we'll keep extra good care of it. We'll make sure, like, we'll try and watch it. So we wake up the next morning, they're like, she's still here. She's waiting to go. So we go and pick it up. We take her to this other vet.
And she's not walking this whole time. She's not able to move.
I'm carrying this dog blocks. I'm hauling her in the back of Ubers, begging the Uber driver to let us take this. Begging the Uber drivers to let us take this like dog that's got like open wounds on it places. And because she had like some huge gashes on her legs and stuff. So like we get to this other vet and they're like, oh, and every time we take it to like a new vet, they're always like more alarmed than the previous vet. And so like I was like, oh my God. And so we get to this one, and this vet like was like, the other vet was very nice on the ball, but I was kind of like, oh, fuck you guys, you just charged me out the ass. This next vet, they seemed like 100% on the ball. I was very impressed with their stuff. They were great. But and that's where she still is now. But they do all this stuff. They look her over. It was that vet. He is all like, she hasn't peed in days, and we're like, no. And he's like, yes, and he is all like, I can deal with this. And he like reaches up there and she just sprays all over the fucking wall. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like alarmed, relieved for the dog, slightly turned on. It was like so many different. I was like, oh my God, but at least this dude's making things happen. So I was already impressed with that point.
Magic vet. Oh, the dog hasn't peed? Watch this. Just like reached in the dog and pulled the piss out of her.
It was a spray.
Holy shit.
But he spent like 45 minutes describing all the different issues this dog had, like all these different, where all the breaks in the hips are, the hips being sideways almost is why it can't shit, and all this other different issues. And he is all like, yeah, I mean, it probably is a spinal cord, and if that's the case, there's nothing you guys can do for this. And I'm like, at this point, I'm a fucking mess. I've already taken in like all these vets. I've been investing in this dog for like 3 days at this point. This was yesterday. And I am a mess with this dog. And so I'm like, all right, well, do your test. to check the spinal cord. So they do it, and we have to go like wait 2 hours or whatever. We come back, and he's all like, spinal cord's okay. And I was all like, the biggest relief in the world. And he's all like, it doesn't have functionality on the back half, and that's mainly just from where the hips are broken. It's caused a bunch of inflammation. All the nerves are just fucked back there, and it can't control it. It can't do anything. They're like, but if we fix the hips, it'll probably,
if the swelling goes down,
it probably should reduce the swelling and be able to fix the nerves, and she probably can have a semi-normal life if we, if it all goes correctly. And so I was all like, all right, great. And he was like, but the price. I was like, oh god damn it. And I mean, I was already in the hole a couple of $100 at this, well, more than a couple $100, but and then he goes ahead and writes down the price on this shit. And I mean, I had already told Tanya, I was like, I don't care what I need to do. I'm not just gonna say no to whatever they want to do with this dog. And so he like wrote it down, and he could tell he kind of expected us to be like, listen, we can't do this. And I was just like, whatever it takes.
How much was it going to cost?
It's over $2,000 at this point.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, but like, especially like for like vets in Mexico, that is insane. And so he was all like awesome. He did some really cool stuff. He like waived his own like personal fees on the surgery. He did some other shit. And so we went home last night, and she stayed there. They got her prepped. They made her shit. We went and saw her today. Which they had to do. They couldn't do surgery if she's like filled up and everything. But I'd like everybody been getting worried about that. Like eventually this is going to become a huge issue for her.
Toxic.
Yeah. And we went and saw her today, and she seemed even like decently better. Like her entire bottom side was like blotched with like blood on her stomach, like from the inside, which was, we were also worried about internal bleeding and all this stuff. But they had cleaned up a lot of that. They got her on a bunch of antibiotics, a bunch of other stuff. And so like they had taken today to get her prepped, and then they're doing the surgery tomorrow. But yeah, assuming the surgery is like goes well, then she should come home in a couple of days at least, and we will spend the next up to 6 months rehabilitating her. But yeah, hopefully the surgery goes well, but I'm also probably like, this will not be the only surgery. So
Decky, you are the person that people want to imagine exist in the world, but who also like won't be. You're the person people want to pretend that they are, but aren't, and just hope that someone else is. Like,
have you ever seen the movie?
Man, that sucks for that dog, but I can't help it.
I think it's called like St.
If it was
Vincent.
a human, it'd be a totally different story, man. But I got this thing. It's a thing about fucking dogs. So there's street dogs, and like every vet we went to, they keep being like, "What's her name?" And I'm like, "We pulled this off the street. I don't have a name." But they're like, "Well, we need to write a name." I'm like, "I don't have." And then eventually I was just like, Callejera, which is like from the street. And then they give me this like mean look, and I'm like, if you don't know what it means, it actually sounds kind of nice.
Yeah, that actually sounds okay. Sounds like an okay name to me.
But I'm like, it's a temporary name. And then like we went to go visit her, and they had it like written above her, and one of the nurses was all like, "You guys are calling it Callejera?" I was like, "No, it's not its real name.
We haven't had time.
Demanded a name from me." But yeah, no, like I mean, that's a long story. I don't like to get into that shit with my previous dog and stuff. But it's not an option for me. So hopefully I don't run into another dog in need anytime soon, because I'm never going to financially recover. But
yeah, I was gonna say there's not too many dogs that you can afford to go from this point. Looks like you're gonna be eating cow eyes again if you really want to have this many dogs taken care of.
I hear a lot of stories about vets who end up just like not making it through vet school, and then not making it through their like internships as like vet assistants or vet like assistant practitioners or whatever.
Very high suicide rate.
Because a lot of the animals have issues that are totally curable, right? Or not curable, but treatable. Like obviously, it sounds like this dog has like been through some serious shit and would die if it didn't get this treatment.
Yeah.
And it now might, it sounds like it might be okay with
relatively positive since yesterday.
A lot of work and a lot of money and a lot of love to make this dog okay. And a lot of vets, like, they become vets because they want to like help animals. But people come in and it's like, okay, it's going to cost $3,000 to rehabilitate this animal, or it costs $20 to euthanize it, and then they end up getting euthanized, right?
Yeah.
And it like fucks up a lot of vets because it's like I could make this dog live, but people just like don't have the money, either don't have the money or don't want to spend the money. So that's such a noble thing of you, Decky.
Decky's a saint. He's
really
incredible. More cow eyeballs to afford it, but
the amount of food poisoning Decky's gonna have to give himself to recover from this financially.
Well, that's what both like my girlfriend has said. We were like, well, that beach vacation's on hold now.
Yeah.
God, you should start like just a fundraiser strictly for the dog.
Yeah, no,
I would actually,
I
will personally contribute to the Decky dog fundraiser.
Well, yeah,
that's sick.
I appreciate it, but yeah, and a lot of people have been very, very like vocal about willing to try and help and so on and so forth. I haven't tried to.
You do gotta come up with a name for other than from the street.
Yeah. It's been a mess, and I have been I haven't known what day it is. I haven't known anything. I've been distraught until yesterday. And once we got the news that it wasn't her spine, like that part I could actually sleep, and I've been trying to relax. I've still been but yeah, it's been the roughest week I've had.
How many dogs are in the house right now?
Only
like
two.
6 last time.
Yeah, only the 2 schnauzers. She's still at the vet, and they have the surgery tomorrow, and we'll probably take her home the next day.
She like a bigger dog? She's just like a street dog?
She's like medium size. I don't know, like that, yeah. But yeah, just like classic street dogs. God knows what kind of breeds are inside that. But yeah, it's and then I mean, yeah, it goes into my whole everybody's like, you're gonna keep it. I'm like, I don't even ask me that question right now. So
just keeping it alive is honestly
tired, yeah.
Answer
it's been
enough.
Very stressful. It's been a horrible thing. And for somebody that normally is not around a lot of medical things or dealing with a lot of medical stuff, unlike Z-Chum, my week has just been filled with doctors and vets, and I hate it. Get me out of here.
I was gonna say it's a shame the two didn't overlap, and you could have got like a 2-for-1 at the vet or at the doctor. While they were scanning your head, you could have you could have held on to the dog at the same time and got a 2-for-1 scan.
Check out the nerves in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, that vet sounds like they know what they're doing. I should go to that vet for my head.
Yeah.
I just got a nerve block done on my head too before the after last episode and before this episode. I got a nerve block done. Didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to reduce pain?
It's where they inject steroids and some nerve blocking agent at the base of your nerve where my occipital nerve connects to my spine, and they try to block the signal from my occipital nerves into my spine because they think that's what's causing some of my head pain. Didn't do anything. So
shit.
Oh, it's good because it kind of rules out that the pain is originating from there, but at this point, it's just fucking inject me with what I've gotten so used to it. You get really used to it really quick, Decky, after after your 15th, 16th trip. You're just you're looking at all the just horribly sick people. They're really interesting. When I was at my neurologist for that nerve block, they had I don't know if the New York State justice system is just really advanced now, but they had this a convict with 2 armed guards in the waiting room, and the guy was super chained up, and he was going to physical therapy.
That's nice.
He needed 2 armed guards, all chained up, just on his way to. It was hand physical therapy. Which is interesting.
You probably got arrested for weed or something.
Yeah.
Could you have met? Yeah, 2 armed guards for a weed.
2 armed guards for a guy who got arrested for weed and is now getting hand therapy.
That would be America. Yeah.
That'd be sick. The guy gets out of prison for an afternoon to just get to fuck around with his hand therapy that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I hope that guy didn't kill someone or something, because then fuck him.
Yeah.
but pretty cool, Deku. Very cool, very noble.
I just want all the stress to go away. Like the nerve, not being the spine, probably not the spine, is a big thing. But like, I just want the dog to be home and like we know it's getting better. At that
a lot
point,
of curveballs this week for you, man.
Yeah. Put me back to normalcy. I just want to go play games.
I just want to live in a cardboard box for 5 days.
Yeah,
let me life
great.
go back to normal.
Yeah, that's all my updates. I got nothing else.
Man, you know that homeless guy, anytime he sees an injured animal now, is going to be like knocking on the door.
Oh, God, no.
Man, there's another one, man. I don't know what to do with it. I just brought it here.
My boy Mateo, yeah.
Well, I think that Sweaty Sack Summer is approaching. Okay. I don't know about you guys after that heartwarming story of Decky's heroic valor saving the street dog. But I think that Sweaty Sack Summer is approaching. And I think it's time for you to prioritize the comfort of your crotch. That's why the kings of crotch comfort, Manscaped, have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. I've had the honor of testing out these new boxers, and I can say it's the softest fabric of any underwear. Okay? So breathable that it's like gills for your groin. They even trademarked the jewel pouch. It's a trademarked term, jewel pouch. So you know it's serious. I think it's time you invest in your family jewels. So let your bulge breathe and get 20% off plus free shipping by using code GAMERHOLE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping using code GAMERHOLE at manscaped.com. GAMERHOLE, no space. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this episode. I do
nice
enjoy
boxers.
their boxers. Yeah, I'm actually a big fan. When I was
supposed
going
to get another big package for here whenever you guys come.
Oh, I got a big package, all right, for Manscaped to take care of. I have a huge dick.
Zichon does have some very big, delicate balls. Yes,
that's what he's saying. He has massive balls.
This isn't a euphemism. I have huge balls. Only Manscaped boxers can possibly contain them.
But yeah, we should have another bunch of stuff for when the subathon happens. Hopefully, if Tarkov ever wipes, which
if it ever wipes,
yeah.
Which is great. 2 days ago, I ran out of my Manscaped shampoo that I got from the previous subathon. It lasted half a year.
Mine's still hanging on, dude. I still must have at least like 15% in there. Yeah, it's been about half a year.
Yeah, like I couldn't believe that bottle lasted that long.
I think
that's
it's like
a steal.
It's like it's got to be like pressurized in there because you just like push it and it comes
never
out.
stops. Yeah, I swear, any other shampoo I'd replaced multiple times by now.
Yeah, big shout out, Manscaped shampoo.
But yeah, we should have refills whenever you guys come, so that'll be good. And that's a good thing. Aqua's on vacation. We were worried that it was gonna wipe. You know.
Yeah, Tarkov. So we're planning on doing a subathon. Oh, I got all my. Okay, for the so we're doing a creators club gamer hole subathon thing. When Tarkov wipes, we're all gonna go to King's house. We're all gonna play Tarkov for who knows how many days straight in that room.
4 weeks.
In the King's basement. But this time I'm gonna make a bunch of little smart devices. I'm gonna have chat controlling colors of LED strips based on like dono amounts. I'm gonna have like little alerts that control lights, and I was gonna build like a little confessional booth where you hit a button and it like changes scenes, and you have like a little confessional scene like, I think Decky's being a piece of shit tonight, and then you can like cut in like a Jersey Shore confessional booth.
Yeah.
And so I ordered all of that, right? I'm talking to Kings. I'm on Amazon. I'm like, I'm gonna need 2 of these Arduinos. I'm gonna need these like 12-volt relays. I typed them up like a shopping list of stuff.
Yeah, he typed me up a shopping list, and I'm like, dude, just order it, and I'm gonna send you the money. Like, what the fuck?
Like I need this, I need 2 of these power bricks, I need 4 of these LED strips. So I get this huge Amazon shopping list, and I put it all in my cart, and I order it, and I'm like, I need this, I need it. And meanwhile, we're like, Tarkov's gonna wipe. Tarkov's gonna wipe. I need time to like code this and work on this and get it ready for the subathon. If Tarkov wipes, I'm fucked. I need to build it now. So I ordered it on Amazon. I'm like anxiously waiting every day for it to get in so I can start working on it. And it says it came in yesterday, the day before yesterday. And I'm like, oh, it's here. I run out to my front porch. It's not there. And this is like 10 pounds worth of shit. It's not fitting in a mailbox, right? So I come back inside and I look at the shipping. It says left in mailbox. And I'm like, huh? Like, okay, I better go check that, like, in the mailbox in case these fucking maniacs, like, like, fucking, like, hammered it into the mailbox.
There, but yeah.
Yeah. So I go out and I check the mailbox. And surprise, it's not in the mailbox. Yeah. I come back inside and I'm like, where's my shit? So I've got a Ring doorbell. The one day the Ring doorbell dies, the one day I actually need my Ring doorbell, and it's dead. It's out of battery. It like disconnected from its charging wires. So I have no video of the delivery. I'm freaking out. I like call Amazon. I'm like, where the fuck's my package? I need this. I need it now. And they were like, just give it some time. Maybe they just messed up. Maybe it'll come in. My neighbor came and rang my doorbell and was like, hey, I got this package. It's not mine though. I think it's yours. And I was like, oh, thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Thank God. So
thank God my neighbor was nice.
I have so many goodies. I'm so excited. I'm going to like start up a second Twitch channel just for like soldering and building and testing, like synced with the Twitch channel so I can like test.
Oh, that'll be sick. Hell yeah.
Shit. I already have the Twitch channel made. It's my ZChum bot Twitch channel. And I'm just going to use it to like build and solder and test the Arduinos out and do some coding. It's kind of like incognito. I'm not like advertising it, but it'll be cool. Yeah. And I'll get everything working before the subathon so we can just come over and I can just plug in like whoever's account and then we'll be good to go. It'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely gonna be different than the last subathon because obviously the last subathon it was late in Tarkov wipe, so no one really wanted to play that much Tarkov. So we just like screwed around and did lots of different stuff. This time it looks like from the plan, I don't want to give everything away, but it looks like we're gonna take one account as far as we can together. Should be fun.
Just a couple gamers.
Yeah.
Gaming as hard as they can, as long as they can.
You guys gonna fill up the stash all the time? It's gonna be like full, and then it's gonna be like my turn to play, and you guys are gonna come back with nothing. No rubles, no guns, one task complete.
I don't want to give up too much, but like ZChum and I are planning, mostly me, but ZChum's gonna help with this a lot with the coding. We're gonna have to do like they're gonna be able to get us to do some little extra tasks, a little bit of a harder to do stuff, like
little things happening.
Like one of the things that we wanted to do is like almost like a musical chairs, where if they do it, the person has to get up immediately, someone else has to take over, or there has to be little obstacles in the room that they have to do before they can keep going.
A little button may need to be pressed to continue or something, maybe.
So there's a lot of fun stuff that we're working on to make it more interactive, I guess, and also give a little bit of challenge.
More automated, more interactive. Yeah, it'll be cool. A lot of big things planned for the subathon.
It's going to be hard to top the last one, but
Decky has such an interesting life. I felt like everyone. I felt like such a badass on my Instagram lately. Everyone like DMing me on Instagram from my duck stories. Like, oh my God, you're so crazy. You stream on Twitch and now you've got ducks. Like, what's going on in your life, dude? Meanwhile, Decky is like roaming the streets of Mexico City, saving injured dogs and beating concussions from steel beams.
I made a couple raised beds and like filled it with plants, and I'm like, oh man, that was a good Saturday or whatever. And then fucking Decky's like, yeah, I saved like 4 dogs. You know, I funded this homeless shelter, and that was when I had a concussion.
And my brain was also bruised the entire time. You know,
Maybe that's why I'm not operating all right. Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
maybe
I checked the
normally I'd
mail.
be like, fuck this.
I checked the mail today, Decky. There was a package on my front porch today. I opened my front door. I lean out to grab the package, and I go to like turn to put it back inside, and I bumped my head on the door frame. And for like 3 hours, I was like, God, what's a concussion feel like? Did I like really hurt myself? Because it was like a little bit sore right here, and I could feel it like swell up a tiny bit, and I was like, am I dying? Ah.
Fucking Zicha. Zicha goes to the hospital. I got a boo-boo, and they like put a little Band-Aid on it. And they're like, there you go, and send
I
him back
need
on
someone
his
to
way.
kiss my forehead.
That's what happens.
I have an owie.
Oh,
Decky's like
man.
actually fucking on the verge of death. Take me to the CVS pharmacy. Let them check me out.
That's me being a stingy asshole. Yeah, yeah, it's been quite a week. I'm ready to get back to normalcy. So sign me up for that. I'm ready to get back to the subathon. That's what. Yeah, next up, let all this in and let me just fly out. I'd also like during all this, I like every time the doctors were like, this dog's worse and worse and worse. I kept being like, Tanya, I'm gonna have to leave.
Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah.
But she was very cool about it. We did address that as well. Yes, I will probably be away during a little bit of the rehabilitation time of the dog.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm pleased with where we're at now. It's looking promising.
Good.
And I'm pleased with where this podcast episode is now. I
Just
think
over an hour.
Yeah, that's a promising episode, right? That's a promising episode 76. Anybody have any closing remarks before I go sleep for 13 hours?
No, Aqua should be back next week.
Aqua will be back next week.
He'll be back probably the same day this comes out, something like that. So he'll be back for the next podcast.
I mean, he's never coming back. Check out Decky and my streams instead. We're like Aqua Light. We're like a perfect substitute for no Aqua.
If you guys want to watch little clips of him in Italy, go check out also Aqua, because we put up a pretty funny one today, and we've got a couple more coming.
There was some Aqua Italy footage on also Aqua, yeah.
Yeah, and it's of course Aqua in Italy. It's like the most tourist stuff you could fucking.
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
I don't speak Italian. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next week, hopefully with Aqua back. Goodbye. What's up, gamers? Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. We put a lot of work into these. If you liked it, consider becoming a member just by clicking the join button down below this video. Becoming a member will get you access to exclusive members-only benefits like a monthly live stream, as well as an extra hour-long episode every week on top of the main episode. Thank you again for watching. Appreciate you. And as always, we will see you next week.